The more the solute molecules are there dissolved in the water, the more negative is the solute potential, and the movement of the water will also get hindered, or the solute potential is always equal to negative, and whereas the pressure potential is always equal to positive. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to today's session on chapter 11, that is transport in plants. I'm Dr. Divya, biology faculty, Vidyashram Pre-University College, Mysore, Temple of Excellence. So in the previous session under this chapter, we had studied about the process called as diffusion, wherein we studied that diffusion is a type of passive transport which does not make use of energy, and therefore it helps in the easy exchange of the gases or the movement of water molecules between the cells, that is into the cells and to the external environment. And also we had studied under diffusion, there is a type of diffusion called as the facilitated diffusion, which actually takes the help of a carrier protein called as the porin, and specifically called as the aquaporin, which actually helps in the transport of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. And also we studied about the active transport. So active transport actually makes use of the proteins to carry molecules from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration, but it makes use of energy. Why energy is involved? Because if any substance has to travel from a region of lower concentration to that of the higher concentration, a lot of energy is being required, and in this case energy is being utilized in the form of ATP. So that was about the last session. In today's session, we shall study about the transport of water. We shall study how the water moves in through the plants to different parts of the plant body. And there is a form of transport which involves water potential. So we shall study how exactly water potential plays a very important role in the transport of water. So we shall begin with today's session. So to begin with, we shall study what is the relationship between the plant and the water. So we all know that plants, for its survival, it requires water, right? And here xylem, which is the water conducting tissue, plays a very important role in transporting water, which is absorbed by the roots to different parts of the plant body. So if that has to take place, a kind of a pressure is required here. So we shall see that what is the relationship, exact relationship between the plant and the water. So terrestrial plants, those are the land dwelling plants, they take up huge amount of water daily, but most of it is lost in the air. How is it lost in the air? By a process called as transpiration. So what the roots keep absorbing water, but what will the excess water, what will happen to the excess water which is not required by the plants? So during the daytime, what happens? The excess water that is there in the plants will leave the plants, or it will given back to the environment through a process called as transpiration, and the transpiration occurs through the leaves. So here the water from the leaves actually evaporate, and this evaporation of water from the leaves is called as transpiration. And say for example, we'll take the example of a mature corn plant. So that is nothing but the maize plant. So the corn plant actually absorbs more than 3 liters of water in a day, while a mustard plant absorbs water equal to its own weight, that is for about 5 hours it absorbs water. So imagine the great difference. Mustard plant is quite smaller when compared to the corn plant. But corn plant, depending on its size, it absorbs only 3 liters of water a day. Whereas the mustard plant absorbs almost water equal to its body weight, that is for about 5 hours. So the excess of water that is there will be lost by the plants in the process called as the transpiration. So next, talking about water potential. So how do these plants absorb water? What actually helps in the movement of the water? So there is something called as water potential. So water potential is usually represented by the symbol psi W. So if you can see here, it is called as psi W. Psi is the symbol that represents the potential and W is for water. So water potential. So water potential is very important to understand. Why we need to understand this concept of water potential is because the movement of water in a plant from the roots to other parts depends completely on the water potential. So apart from having water potential, there is also something called as the solute potential, which is represented by psi S. So psi S, and there is also a term called as the pressure potential, which is represented by psi P. And these are the two main components of the water potential. Without the solute potential and pressure potential, the water potential cannot act on its own. They go hand in hand. So here, the water potential, it is actually denoted by the Greek symbol psi, which is denoted as like this particular symbol, and it is expressed in units of pressure, which is called as pascals. And the water potential of a pure water is always zero, but only the water potential changes when any solute is dissolved in water. Solution means, always remember two words. Pure water will have just water molecules in it and nothing else, whereas the solution, say for example, we had talked about the solute potential, right? If we consider a solute potential, in that water, it is a solution wherein different types of solutes are being dissolved. Say for example, sugar, salt, or any chemical as such. If it is dissolved, then the water potential varies. But if nothing is dissolved in a water and it is only pure water molecules, then the water potential of pure water molecule is always zero, which means psi W is always equal to 0. So that is, we need to understand, it should be always taken to be 0. So next here, if some solute, as I told you earlier itself, if some solute is dissolved in pure water, the solution has fewer water molecules, right? Say for example, I have a beaker wherein I have taken water. So in this pure water, so what is there in this pure water? It is only the water molecules which are there, which is moving in different direction. That is the water potential, right? The ability of the water molecules to move in different direction. They are moving in different direction, and here only water molecules are there because only it is a pure water. On the other hand, I take one more beaker and I add water, and to this water I add a solute. Say for example, I dissolve salt in this. Now here I have dissolved too much of salt, more than that of the water molecule that is there. So here there are salt molecules which are more and the water molecules are less. So water molecule becomes less, the concentration of the salt molecule becomes more. Why? Because for more than the water molecules, the salt molecules will become more in the solute here, say for example. So therefore, if some solute is dissolved in pure water, the solution will have very few water molecules and the concentration, that is the free energy of water, decreases, reducing its water potential. Means, remember, I always told you previously, the water potential always depends on the solute potential. So what is water potential? It is nothing but the ability of the water to move freely. That is why, because of water potential, the water in a plant can move to different parts of the plant. But imagine if it is pure water, it will easily move because of only water molecules being present. But on the other hand, what happens? To the movement of water molecules also energy is required, right? So similarly here, what happens in a beaker, if it dissolve a solute, that is a salt, what happens? The salt molecules will be more, or the solute molecules will be more, and the water molecules will be less. So when the solute molecule is more and the water molecule is less, the free movement of water will be interrupted, right? It will be difficult for the water molecules to move freely. Why? Because the energy of the water molecule would have been reduced by the solute that has been dissolved in the water. So that is why what happens, the concentration of water decreases, reducing its water potential. The water will not be able to move freely if it has more amount of solute in it. So that is why the water potential always depends on the solute potential. Hence, all solutions have a lower water potential when compared to that of the pure water. Pure water, the water potential is always equal to 0. It is neutral. But solutions have always a lower water potential when compared to that of the water potential of a pure water. And the magnitude of this lowering is because of the dissolution of a solute, and it is called as the solute potential. And always the solute potential is negative. Why is the solute potential negative? Because I told you, in a solute potential, why? The water molecules are not able to move freely. Therefore, the potentiality of that solute will reduce. So therefore, the solute potential is always negative. And the more the solute molecules are there dissolved in the water, the more negative is the solute potential, and the movement of the water will also get hindered. So that is why it is always not feasible for the plants. And for a solution at atmospheric pressure, the water potential will always be equal to the solute potential under atmospheric pressure. So under atmospheric pressure, the water potential is always equal to the solute potential. But when it comes to, as such, the concentration of solute potential is negative, or the water potential of solute is negative when compared to that of the pure water. So next, talking about the pressure potential. So now we understood why solute potential and water potential go hand in hand. So again, I told you, under that, pressure potential also is one of the component of the water potential, which decides how the water potential has to play its role. So here, if a pressure is greater than the atmospheric pressure, I told you, under atmospheric pressure, the water potential is always equal to the solute potential, right? So in some cases, if the pressure is greater than the atmospheric pressure, which is applied to the pure water or a solution, its water potential will increase. So what happens when a pressure is applied on a solution, in spite of that water having a solute dissolved in it, in spite of that, the water potential increases because of the pressure being applied. And pressure can build up in, you know that whenever a pressure is applied, the movement of water is free, right? So similarly here, if a pressure greater than the atmospheric pressure, that is what is called as turgor pressure. That is, turgor pressure is the one that actually helps the plant to beat. If the water is so concentrated with the solute also, what happens? It can easily move through the plant cells because of the turgor pressure that is there. So that is why pressure potential is very, very important. So if a pressure is greater than the atmospheric pressure, and if it is applied to pure water, or if it is applied to a solution, what happens? The water potential will increase because of the pressure. So I can give you an example of a pipe. So water pipe, if you keep on the tap, here there is a tap and here there is a water pipe. So if the water pipe is like this, then you switch on the tap, the water can very fastly, it will move, right? But if you put a water pipe like this and you then switch on the tap, will the water come like this and move up? No, it will require a pressure. At that time, what usually people do, they will suck. So when they suck, because of that pressure, the water will start to come out, even if the pipe is like this. So that the same thing happens here. So if a pressure is applied greater than the atmospheric pressure, the pure water solution, its water potential will increase. So pressure, it can build up in a plant system when water enters a plant cell because of diffusion. So what is diffusion? We had learnt about diffusion. So diffusion is a kind of passive transport where the water moves from a lower concentration to the higher concentration. Right. So here, because of diffusion, what happens? The diffusion, water is trying to move. A pressure is building up. So because of that building up of the pressure, the water will be able to, it can move into the cell. So this is what is called as the cell will become turgid. A turgor pressure will be created. So if it is a plant cell, then the turgidity is good. Why? Because plant cells have cell wall, right? So plant cells, if they absorb water under pressure, they will not burst open because of the presence of a very rigid cell wall. But it is not the same for an animal cell. Say for example, the RBCs or the red blood cells, if they take up too much of water under pressure, what happens? The cells will burst open, but it is not like that in the case of the plant cell. So that is one advantage. The turgor pressure is one of the advantage, or the process of diffusion is one of the advantage in the case of the plant cells. So that is what, and it makes the cell turgid and it will increase the pressure potential. So as the pressure potential decreases, when the cells become turgid, means the surface area of the cells will also increase. Therefore, the water can enter into the cell. So that is the concept here. So what did we understand? So from this, we understood that no matter what whether the water is pure or whether it is filled with solutes or concentrated with solute, no matter what, if the pressure is greater than the atmospheric pressure, then the water can freely move through the plant cells. That is why I told you the pressure potential and the solute potential are two important components of the water potential. So next, pressure potential, it is usually positive, whereas water potential of a pure water is always equal to 0, or the solute potential is always equal to negative, and whereas the pressure potential is always equal to positive. Why? Because any concentration, if be it the water potential or the solute potential, when the pressure is greater than the atmospheric pressure, it will allow the movement of the water. So that is why it is always positive. And though in plants, negative potential or tension in the water column, in the xylem, it plays a very important role in the transport of water up a stem, the pressure potential will always remain positive. Any pressure or any tension that is taking place in the xylem. Why xylem? Because it is the water conducting tissue. No matter what happens, the water potential will always be positive, and the pressure potential will always be positive, and it is denoted by the symbol psi p. And therefore, water potential of a cell is both affected by the solute as well as the pressure potential, and therefore the relationship between the water potential, the pressure potential and the solute potential is always represented as water potential is equal to solute potential plus the pressure potential. So it depends on these two. That is why psi W is equal to psi S plus psi P. So this is about the plant-water relationship. So that is how the water moves from the roots to different parts of the plant body because of the water potential, which always depends on the solute potential as well as the pressure potential. So this was about the today's session, and I hope you understood. So we'll briefly brush up, wherein I had told you water potential is nothing but the movement of water within the cells. So here the water potential, if the water has to freely move within the cells, then it has to be a free water, wherein the water potential of pure water is always equal to 0. But every time will the soil water or the groundwater be pure? No, it will be dissolved with various minerals, chemicals, nutrients and all that, right? So it will become a solution. So solution means what happens? The water molecules will reduce and the solute molecules will become high. therefore not allowing the free movement of the water molecules. At that time, what happens? Solute potential will become negative. So the potential of that particular solution will become negative, right? Pressure potential comes to help. So pressure potential, what happens? When the pressure potential in the plant is more than that of the atmospheric pressure, it will allow the pulling up of the water to different parts of the plant body. What happens here? The cells will become turgid and a pressure will be created which will pull the water from the base of the plant to different parts of the plant body, be it any concentration of the solute, no matter what. So therefore, water potential is always related with that of the solute potential and the pressure potential, and hence it is expressed as psi W is equal to psi S plus psi P. So this was about today's session. So we shall meet in the coming session wherein we'll discuss about osmosis, some of the other concepts like how diffusion and water potential all helped in the transport of water, right? Just like that, osmosis and plasmolysis also play a major role in the transportation of water in plants. So we shall study about these two concepts in the coming session. So we shall meet again in the coming session. Thank you.